Welcome to Jack Says Smile, where I will be sharing, not a little bit, but absolutely everything that I get up to with you, because nobody puts Jack in a box.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Jack Says Smile, and it's Top Tip Tuesday, so I'll be sharing a new tip with you today. And today I'm going to be looking at an anxiety hack, in particular which helps me when preparing for travelling, as I really struggle with anxiety when I'm travelling, and as well trying to prepare ourselves for maybe a situation or a workplace or something where you often get anxious, whether you're going to have to talk about something tricky with a colleague or just an environment which you're not used to yet, so you still get a little bit nervous when going there. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the two kinds of preparation you can do to get ahead and make yourself feel more comfortable and less likely to have an anxiety or a panic attack in the situation. So there's preparing the night before, and there's preparing before you leave to go to this place, before you travel there. So obviously you can prepare the night before, and that can come with packing your bag, preparing the work you're going to be doing there. There's so much you can do the night before. So all that stuff, whether it's literally packing the books you need, stuff like that. I personally will lay out all the things that I need on a table because I will still be using them on the actual day, the following day, to prepare again. So it's doing that first layer of preparation, having everything you need ready, the things that you don't need to use, put them in your bag immediately as well. So there's that physical aspect that you don't have to worry about last minute when you're maybe worrying about how you're going to feel in the situation. The little things like your keys, your lunch, that is all done ahead. That's one thing for you not to worry about, because I know me, when I'm actually needing to think about how I'm going to conduct myself in the situation, I'll take myself as far away as possible from that by doing mediocre tasks like packing my bag. Oh, I might need this extra thing. It's why my bag is always so full. Everyone knows me. I am the bag lady. It's because I, one, fill it with things because I don't actually want to leave my house. And two, because I do actually like to have a lot of things on me that always make me feel safe and comfortable, as they're almost like a comfort blanket, and there's nothing wrong with that as well. So it's doing that little bit of prep the night before. So my other thing that I have learned, which is if you need to leave, for example, at 2:30, you don't start to get ready at 20 past, yeah? You give yourself 2:30 is when you leave. So you need to start preparing from 1:30. So for me, what I do is I do the physical first, which is again, getting everything in that bag. So I'll pack all the books in there. I would have looked at stuff like that earlier and the night before. Pack everything. So if you are holding off leaving because traveling or where you're going is making you feel anxious and you're taking as long as possible to get to that point, if you do have a bit of a moment before leaving, when it gets to the time you need to leave, you can pick up your bag and you can go. And hopefully as well, you're prepared from the night before. The second half an hour of the hour before I leave is me just mentally preparing. So for me, usually that's in a way of journaling. So I'll write down how I'm feeling, write down the things that I need to do. I would have also prepared that in my diary, but writing down the things I need to do when I get there, reminding myself, maybe writing into my phone, important things that I need to remember to say, maybe if you need to have a discussion with a colleague that you're nervous about, because you might forget in the moment. So it's just really making sure you're prepared. So once you've left, that's my initial part, is preparing to leave. For me as well, the main bit is really the actual bit of traveling. That's when I get super anxious. So it was last year, January, for me, is when I would say was my first really serious panic attack. I was on the tube and there was like delays and stuff. I think I was going off to rehearsals of CTC, and it was kind of still then, me and Chris had only just gotten close. He's like my best friend now. So obviously when there was delays and stuff, I was nervous about being late. We weren't so close then. So I was like, we didn't know each other so well. So he didn't know about things like this and how I get. So I'd freaked out. I do not do being late. I absolutely hate it. It drives me mad. I don't like it. So I had this panic attack to the point that I was being sick on the underground because I worked myself up so much, and I had a member of staff found me, and I had to do 3 changes on the tube, and a member of TFL staff had to come and get me each time I changed. They were really good. TFL were amazing. I'm gonna say honestly, they were absolutely amazing. They called into the station, I had to get off, they figured out my journey, and someone met me and got me on each train when I had to change 3 times. And honestly, I'd never experienced anything like that. I was in tears because I'd just been sick because I'd worked myself up so much. So big up TFL, you were so helpful in a time like that. And as well, passers-by, you know, you do get those people who like walk past and whatever, and the kind of people who you think, you know, wouldn't, like people I'm like, yeah, you're a mother, like you think those are the kind of people who look out for people in public. But it was literally like 2 young kind of like men, like young adults, who were the first people to actually stop passerby to help me before a member of staff came to me. So, you know, one, you should just always help out people when you see that clearly in need. I was being sick on the platform. Like, it's a little bit obvious. I clearly need a bit of help. And yeah, don't judge a bit by a cover, because yeah, it's not always the people you think who are gonna help. And don't hate on our generation, oldies, because we're pretty damn awesome. So yeah, after that situation is when I really start to think about how I can calm myself down on the train and stuff like that. So for me is, you need to prepare completely before for where you're actually going. If you're reading notes a lot of the time, if you suffer anxiety, reading notes, working yourself up about that situation more. For me personally, through trial and error, I learned that I do not need to be working on my journey because I'm psyching myself up. You need to trust in the preparation that you've done beforehand, as well as make sure that you do that preparation beforehand. Yes, so on the tube, I like to do something that I like to call my focus point, or a distraction point, but I like to call it a focus point. And that can be different for everyone. So some things that I try is, I always have pen and paper. I will literally doodle, draw. I sometimes literally am there with my washi tapes, my scissors, my glue. I fully scrapbook on the tube. I commit. I don't care. You cannot care about what other people around you are thinking. If it calms you down, you do you. Or your book, something that is completely unrelated, so a book's always good. Also, just have that go-to playlist that you know always makes you feel good, and you listen in and you just jam. So yeah, having a focus point. And my point with this is, it's really just about preparation, and learning the things that will help you is gonna take time. And you know, you can listen to my ideas, and you can, you know, go on Pinterest, go on other people who share these kinds of things. You can take from these things, but the thing you have to remember at first is that it's going to be trial and error. And you're not gonna watch this and go, oh, I'm gonna do that because it works for me, but it might not work for you. So the important thing is that you have to remember these things are a process. And for me as well, like, it took ages. Like, I had that massive panic attack on the train when I started to really have anxiety when traveling. That was like about 1.5 years ago now. But I probably only actively, maybe over half a year after that happened, trying to do things that would help. And I've probably only in the last few months actually found the system that works for me to keep me calm when traveling and going to do something where I know I'm going to be anxious. So to round that up for you, my anxiety hacks for when you're traveling and going to a situation where you know you might have some unwanted nerves and feelings is to, number 1, be prepared. Prepare the night before and have your designated preparation time, and it's a long enough amount of time before you leave your house to make sure you can then, when you're traveling, relax. Which brings me on to the second thing you need to do, is have a focus point that is for you, that takes you away from that thing that causes you anxiety, whether it's a book, a playlist, doodling, I don't know, maybe you want to knit on the train, I don't know. Try it out. Try anything. Do you. So, I hope you enjoyed this week's Top Tip Tuesday, and I can't wait to share some more with you next week. Bye!